What is up, guys? Hope you all are doing great. Welcome back to another live. Today we're going to be stringing one of my rackets. Broke a string. Well, I broke a couple strings actually, but I'm just going to string one. And then I'm also going to string up the new Boom Pro for review. Have already actually hit with the Boom MP. The upcoming video is going to be a comparison of the two. I think some people are really going to like that. And yeah, there's a lot to talk about today. I'm not sure which one I want to start with though. I think I'll start with the Boom since I'm too lazy to take the strings out of this one. We'll cut this little thing out here, and I'm just gonna pull you guys up on my computer so I can see what it looks like, if you can hear me, if there is an issue, etc, etc, etc. Little things are always so finicky. And there is some people watching. I don't even have enough on my computer because it seems there we go. We got it working. Okay, welcome. What's going on? I'm just gonna zoom in on the chat here so people say hello. What's up, people? It looks like it's nice to see you, Top G. What's up, Barry? Hope you guys are doing great. Seems as if the chat is working and you guys can hopefully hear me. I'm assuming you can because it looks like it's fine from what I see. But yeah, like I said, I am doing the Boom rackets here. I already strung the Boom. I already did the Boom MP there last week. I didn't do a live stringing it. But I did already hit with it, and now it is time to compare it to the Boom Pro. Will make for a good video. A lot of the times I come on here and I do string rackets and I kind of give like the little sneak peek and the little impression dive into the rackets. Because not a lot of people watch the lives, so people that get in here, give them a little extra info. So yeah. Exciting times for MP tennis. So we are stringing this with Super Toro, which is my string of choice, and it played fine in the Boom NP. So hopefully it will play fine in the Boom Pro. What's up? What's up? People are showing up. The head shape of the Boom is a little too strange for me. I can totally understand that. If I'm being completely honest, it's not my favorite shape either. The old Boom Pro was not a bad racket. I thought it was just, it worked really well on some things, but you guys will see what I think of the Boom MP, and I'm going to compare it, like I said, to the Boom Pro. If I had to pick one though so far, comparing like the old generation Boom, I would probably go with the Pro with what I know right now. I don't have enough room over here. But Head is doing some interesting things, I must say. They are, with their gravity line, with this Boom line, they're trying to spice it up in a way. And I don't think the loyal Head users are really a fan, But yeah, it's working well for some people. Best all-around string for you if looking for spin control and comfort. Well, I'd have to say my Super Toro. I use it for a reason. It checks all of the boxes. You can use our code to get, I think it's 20 or 25% off. I should know that. The link is in the description of like all of our very, like in the past 6 months, 8 months. So you can use our code to get a discount if you want to try it out, but it works well in a lot of rackets. Rackets that are really powerful or the odd like racket it doesn't feel great in, and then I will opt for like a stiffer string like my old Confidential or maybe Wasabi or something of that nature. But right now Super Toro is still the pick for me. It's a great color. I love the thickness. So we chillin' with Super Toro. What do you think of a tennis ball repressurizer can? Can you use it or do you know if it works? I have strong feelings about those and I will voice those. I have used both the cheap and the not cheap versions of those. I've used the plastic ones where you just fit 3 balls in them, and I have used the one where you literally like pump the air in. Listen, if you want to use your balls like 1.5 hours and you're like a club player more, or you want to save a little bit of money in your balls, and the pressurizing tool doesn't cost you that much, and you're a club player or a weekend warrior, I say go for it if you don't mind spending money on that. But if you're anywhere between like a 4.0, 4.5 and above, 6 UTR and up, I don't know the WTN number yet. That's another thing I'm not a fan of, but that's another story. I don't think it's worth it for you because you really can lose the feeling quickly from the ball. And if you're a field-oriented player, it's not really the best choice. But I have used them. They work well for kids that are just starting real ball as well. So if you want to save the balls, we've done that at one of our clubs here. But it's not really the greatest thing. If you have the money, just spend it on new balls. Just my opinion. Which Toro line string do you enjoy the most? Super Toro. Super Toro is good. Snapper is my probably second favorite. Third favorite, probably Wasabi. Then probably, I don't know, there's a few others. They're absolutes unique. I still haven't done Enzo Pro. Caviar is also really good. They don't really have a bad string actually. They all play relatively similar, but they're all a little bit different as well. With different stiffnesses, some hold tension better, some snap back better. I'm definitely the wrong target market for the boom, being a long-term prestige player. Well, I totally understand that. Maybe you would like my Radical more. I totally get that. The boom is not for everybody. It's definitely working for some people because if it was a flop, I think they would already stop making it or they would have dropped the price big time on it. We saw that happen with some head rackets there a couple years ago, the MXG1, MXG3 or something. Those just sucked. And they marketed them like quite expensive, and then I think they realized that they came out with like a doggy product. And then they stopped making them. So clearly people like them enough for Head to keep making them. It's not my favorite line, but I think it serves its purpose and has a place. And I can't really say too much because I haven't used this Boom Pro yet. I have used the MP. I won't give too many details on what I think about that because that's going to be part of the video. Who you got RG men's singles? Well, Sasha just beat Demonar in 3. I really wanted Holger to go far just because it's nice to see a young guy do well. I know some people really don't like Holger, but you know what? Wah wah. So what? But he lost to Sasha as well. Sasha looks really good. He's smart, has a world-class backhand, and he's hitting his forehand pretty well, serving good, and he's a fighter. It'd be interesting to see him win. I think Casper Ruud is boring. No offense to Casper Ruud fans. And then Yannick Sinner and Carlos. Those guys are just like so cool to watch and so exciting. I think it would be really cool actually if Sinner won, just because he's world #1, he wins the tournament, it's cool. But like I like Carlos more than Yannick Sinner because Carlos is more fun to watch than Yannick Sinner because he gets like fired up. I don't know. So I guess I'm really going on here, but I don't know. Carlos, probably Carlos, but it would be, I would feel happy for Sasha if he won as well. There's not really like, whoever wins is deserving, let's say that. Because Sasha still does not have a slam. Casper Ruud is like, pretty much like an S-tier clay quarter, so like he can deserve to have a French. And Sinner and Alcaraz, it's like, honestly like, even though they play in the semifinal of the slam, it feels like it's too soon in a way. Have you tried any poly hybrids? I know Tourline carries some. Yes, they do. Tourline will make a poly hybrid custom to you. They did that for me. It played pretty well. However, I think mine was, I didn't make a video on it. I should have actually, but I didn't. I'm forgetting. It was either Enzo. I think it was Enzo and, no, it was Enzo Pro and Super Toro. It was pretty solid actually. Like it was next to Super Toro, next to Super Toro and Snapper, that was my favorite Tourline setup. So it was overall pretty solid, but like it wasn't good enough to like switch. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm not super into the poly hybrids, to be honest. Like, I'm not very radical like that. Like, I'm pretty traditional when it comes to like my setups. Like, I'm not stringing either like different tensions on a main and a poly. My rackets are pretty traditional right now. Like, I put some weight on them, but I use a full bed of poly. I'm kind of boring in a way, but I don't know. Maybe I gotta spice it up. Have you ever played on red clay? And what do you think of playing competition with Jesse in Holland? Do you know Jesse? Jesse, I think, is retiring or has retired. That's really funny that you mentioned him. I'll have to text him. If you know him, you know he's one of a kind. I would, but I think he's hanging up his rackets, to be honest. That guy's played a lot of tennis in his career. For those who don't know, Jesse has been my doubles partner for the last 2 years at school. Our first year we were undefeated. And we were 3 semesters undefeated because we play 2 conference seasons. So honestly, we were pretty solid. Not gonna lie. And then I think we had like 2 conference losses in regular season of all time. So that was pretty solid. We were probably one of the better teams in our program history, which is kind of cool. But yeah, me and Jesse played really good together. But I think he's retiring. But I'll have to text him and let him know that he was featured in the live. Red clay, but yeah, red clay. I have played on red clay before. It's nice. When's the Restring Zero review? Soon, my guy. Soon. It's coming. Hopefully within the next month. I got a lot going on. 1, 2, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay. I've never strung this racket before, so I just don't want to make sure I'm not messing up. Yep, it's coming. It's coming. So we got like the new forehand series is happening now. I got to do some racket reviews. There will be some more Tourline reviews. restring will probably come. So it's coming. I got a feeling like I think restring, like the restring sink is a great string. Should have mentioned that earlier. It's a great string. It was, if I played long term with it, it might be a little too stiff for me, but overall, like, great string. But I don't know if I'll like 0. I don't think it's really meant for me, so it's not really, the target market is not really for me, I don't think. But I think for some people, it's honestly like one of the best strings you could probably have. So I'll try and review it with an open mind. Or do you just want to go all the way to go pro? I mean, it's not like I can just hop right into a challenger right now. Number 1, I would get my ass kicked. And number 2, I just wouldn't get in. So you kind of have to work your way, for those that know. Futures have to come first. You gotta have some luck. Gotta get some points. Gotta get the ball rolling. So, yes, but that's still my intention. That plan, though, will probably be voiced to you guys in the next, like, I don't know, 8 months. Because you guys are coming on the journey with me, like always. Oh, I hate new rackets because it's so friggin' hard to get. It's also so bad I don't have it all right now because mine broke. So I'm really stringing like a beginner right now without any supplies. This thing I have right now is kind of playing with fire. It's very pointy and I don't want to pierce the string. So I'm kind of playing this game like a rookie right now. Ah, there we go. Bingo. Are tennis academies worth attending for a tennis holiday, considering I'm now in my mid-30s now? I would say absolutely. If you have the money and you want to go on like a family trip, I would say go for it. I think it would be really fun. Hard to say because I'm not that age. I do know some families that have done it and said it was unreal, especially if you might have some kids that play as well. You drop them off. If it's a tennis family, for sure. Like, I know some families that did Rafa Nadal Academy. I just talked to somebody yesterday that went to Muradoglu for a few days when she was in Paris. They said Muradoglu is very resort-like, so you get that like away resort feel, and then you get to play tennis. I think that's nice if you want to just chill. But if you want to kind of grind a bit, maybe you need to go to like the Rafa one, or I don't really know. USTA is not really resort-like. That's more like training and hitting and you're from the area. Same as IMG, I think. So you kind of, the Muradoglu one is like the pinnacle of resort tennis, I think, but I could be wrong. I'm not what's the word, like versed, or don't have that much knowledge in that department. But if I traveled a lot, it would be a cool video to like do like best academies in my opinion, or something like, and like spend a day at each one. That'd be a great video actually. Do you like singles or doubles more? That's so tough. In college, I think doubles is honestly just as fun, if not more fun than singles. But I think if you're not playing college, I think singles is just way more fun. You focus on yourself. That sounds really selfish, but I mean, I guess it's true. You kind of focus on yourself a bit. I don't know, like when you play doubles, it's so team oriented because you play with a teammate. It's for the team. But don't get me wrong, when you like clinch or play really well on singles as well for your team, that's a great feeling. But yeah, they're both like pretty solid. Oh, look at this, perfect. Just finished another reel of my beloved Super Toro. What do we got in there? It's nearly 1 a.m. here, so I'm going to sleep. Unfortunately, have a nice live. Thanks, Top G. Thanks for swinging by. Have a great evening. What's up, Rafa? Hope you're doing well, buddy. Thoughts on Toro versus Super Toro? Same gauge, I believe. Toro is the pink. Super Toro is the blue. Toro plays similar. The only thing that I think is it just plays livelier. The pink really brings out lighter strings, tend to bring out the livelier feel. So you might feel you might get a little bit more spin, might feel a little bit more lively, a little bit more pop. The blue the Super Toro I should say, might feel a little bit more dead. So yeah, that's just kind of I did a video about it, so you can watch that if you want to have a deeper dive. But yeah, they're definitely similar. Very, very similar. It's not like you're comparing like a Super Toro to a Wasabi, like those are much more different in my opinion. Yeah, starting the crosses on the boom here. Hopefully I don't have an all-time clip moment that Rafa got for us the other day. I snapped. The string just snapped on the stringer. That was not a good time. Had to restart. It was another rookie moment. But happens. I am stringing this a little tighter. My tension is 50, and I'm stringing this at 54. I strung the Boom MP at 55, a little bit tighter, because it was a little bit more of an open bed. And I felt like I wanted to try and keep it more on my spec range. So that's where we are right now. Who's your least favorite player on tour? Oh my God. Somebody asked me that question, I think, the last live, and like, there's not really like a player that like I really dislike. Like, I feel like it's so bad of me to say that because like those guys, they devote their lives to tennis. It's so tough to get there. Like, they're so good. Like, somebody that's grinding top 500 ATP is like a savage and is like insane at tennis. I mean, of course you got babies out there and they make really babyish and stupid comments. Everybody has their moments. I mean, people used to think Novak was a baby and said some weird stuff when he was younger. People think Stefanos is a baby. People think Holder is a baby. People don't like Nick Kyrgios, but like honestly, like there's definitely players I like more than others, but I can't honestly say. Like I don't. There's not like a player that I really dislike. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Have you tried Kirschbaum's Super Smash? I have not. I have in fact tried. I'm looking at it on my shelf right now. I haven't used it in years. It's a red. It's called Kirschbaum Pro Line X or Kirschbaum X. It's a red. I have like a 16 gauge of it. I used to play with that when I was like under 16, but I still have like some of it in the corner there. It actually played not bad, pretty durable. I used that in my Pure Arrows back in the day. And I also have played with Kirschbaum Pro Line 2. That one played pretty nice. They have make some good stuff. Toro is meant to be a little softer apparently. I tried it and it was nice, but sometimes the ball felt heavy as it really dwelled into, sorry, I'm just reading off my computer, as it really dwelled into the string. Long time. 45 or 46 pounds, I can't see, pounds in my Extreme Tour. Yeah, could be. I personally didn't really feel necessarily a difference. I don't know. I just thought it was more lively because lighter strings tend to be a little bit more livelier. But the difference between lively and not lively and firm and soft, I feel like those are like different scales in a way. I know what you're saying. I just don't know if I agree or disagree. I haven't played with it in a little bit. That video was back done during the Christmas holidays, so. Super Toro is more, how do I say, it's more predictable, I think. That's why I said Toro is a little bit more lively. You almost get a little bit more out of it in a way. But it's tough, like if people are watching, they're like, bruh, I don't know what the guy means, he's saying lively. It's tough when you don't, like if you haven't played with the string. That's why I try my best to like articulate like what it feels like. But when people try the string, then they're kind of like, I kind of know what kid means, or whatever the review is. But yeah. I will tell you guys, there's only like 10 people on here or something. It's a small group right now. I also said it in a comment the other day, but like, it's not like I have all my subs going through a comment to see what I said, but I have the Pure Arrow 98 on its way. So that will be very exciting. I know there was like hundreds of people wanted me to try that when I was going through my Racket switch last year, and I didn't. It was not really on my mind in a way. I didn't really want to play with something like that, but you know, I'm going to be playing with it very soon. So I'm excited. I don't know what I'm going to string with. I'm debating on putting Confidential in it, or Super Toro, or Wasabi, and I haven't really made my mind up yet. But I'm excited to try it, and kind of hoping that I don't like love it in a way, because that means it's going to be hard to put down, and when it's hard to put down, that means you end up switching rackets. So we shall see. We shall see. That's the one negative thing about demoing rackets and getting rackets. It's like, you're always like, you have to test it, so it's like, you have to give an honest review, obviously, and like, if you really like it, it's like, well, why am I not using this? And there's tons of rackets that I like, and it sucks. Like, I really did like the whiteouts. I did like, well, obviously I love my Extreme. I love the new Extreme Tour when it came out. The whiteout extended was really good. The Rafa Origin that I tested a few weeks back was like super fun to play with. I'm trying to think of like other rackets that I like. The Gravity MP was also like kind of a sleeper, but pretty solid. Like, there's a lot of good rackets out there. One racket that I wish I could try right now, I would never switch to it, but like Wilson has just kind of relaunched their 6195. I don't think it would work well for me, but like I would just want to hit with it just for fun. I wanted to try Super Tour to compare, but it's not available yet in store in Australia yet, so it's a ridiculous price to get here, unfortunately. I get that. Hopefully we'll be there soon. Tourline's pretty quick with everything. They're doing a good job. So hopefully here within the next few months, you'll be able to ship worldwide. Tried any Yonex strings by any chance? I have, believe it or not, I was supposed to do a Polytour Pro review like months and months ago, and I think I lost it. I lost the set that they sent me, but I do have Polytour Rev. It's like this color actually of the boom, and I don't know how it plays. I haven't used it yet, but I just have a set of it, so maybe I will save it for a rainy day. How'd the whiteouts play? Well, I've played with 3 of them. They have I didn't try the 1619 extended, but I tried the regular 1619, the regular 1820, and then the extended 1820. The one I played the best with was the extended 1820. That thing was insane. Like, that's a really sleeper racket. And it's too bad my elbow felt a little bit sore at the end using it. I'm sure I could have, I didn't really try too much, but I didn't want to like work for it in a way. It was becoming like, how am I gonna make this feel better in a way, like on my arm, and I didn't want to change too much of my setup. Like, I was going to an extended racket, I would change my string, I would maybe have to add weight in certain, I didn't really want to do all of that. Like, I wanted to stay more traditional, and the Radical Pro felt good with Beckett's customizations at the time, so I was just like, let's go with this. It feels like a good option. It feels good in my hand, just as good, if not better. So it was more of like a safer pick in a way. I definitely could hit like the shit out of the ball with the whiteout extended though. Like, even though it was 1820, like I was smacking it. And I was also like fearful of the extendedness, that's a word, of the racket and how it would play under pressure, like at school and stuff. And I was really nervous about that. And I guess part of the decision not to play with that and go with that one was fear. And I know like every YouTube short, every Instagram reel, and every TikTok on everybody's device is talking about motivation and fear and blah, blah, but sorry, it also is a money thing as well. And like, I don't know. I just was like, I don't know. Something just wasn't clicking with it. That was one thing holding me back. You will like the Puro 98. Similar and versatile to the Extreme Tour. You've used a bit more power with a little bit less feel. That's the only thing that's scaring me right now is the feel. I've been using head rackets for a long time. I used to use head rackets back in the day before I even used my Babolat's. I use the Extreme Tour. Now I've been using my Rads. I've been using head rackets a lot in bigger matches in the last like 5 years. So I'm a little nervous. That's the only thing I'm nervous about. The power, I feel like I can contain that now. I feel like that was a decision, like, I don't know. I always complained about power. Like I couldn't control it on some more powerful rackets, and like that's true. But I feel like I'm good enough where if this racket plays good enough and does a lot of good things, then I feel like I can find a way to tone it down with my swing or a string or gauge or tension. But it will have to play well. That's the thing. I'm not gonna sacrifice feel and touch and my backhand and my serve all for like a bomb forehand and a serve. I don't know. But we'll see. Time will tell. Any chance you could compare the regular 1820 to the Gravity Pro? I'm assuming you're talking about you're talking about the Boom Pro, or what racket are you talking about? I have used the Gravity Pro before. Gravity Pro. I used the Gravity Pro in my racket bracket. and I tested the Gravity MP, and I did a full I don't know if I did a full review on the Gravity Pro. I had it, but I think it was just part of my Racket bracket. So you're saying the whiteout. I don't have the Gravity Pro with me anymore. That was Beckett's racket, so I gave that back to him. I like the 1820. I don't know actually. The regular 1820 is like, I wish I had it down here with me. I literally strung it the other day because like I have some time right now to just like F around with rackets and strings, and I'm coaching a little bit, so like I bring rackets out with the kids and stuff. And like the other day I had the whiteout 1820 regular with wasabi in it, and it kind of played like shit, not gonna lie. Like it sucked a little bit. Like it sucked, and like, which was so weird because the string that I think I played confidential in it when I reviewed it, and it was great and it played awesome. And it just, I feel like with some strings it just doesn't play well. And I also, like, me and Beckett actually talk a lot, and I talked to him about it. I was like, it did not feel good with wasabi, and he said, yeah, some of the strings that go, because whiteout's a big racket for him, he loves the whiteouts, if you guys didn't know. Like he said, some strings just don't play well at all in the whiteouts. So, interesting. I think you gotta go with a stiffer string. I think that's why he likes it with confidential, why I like it with confidential. Weird that wasabi didn't work though, because I feel like confidential is a little stiffer than those strings, a little bit more predictable. And what was the other string too? Maybe like an RPM would work well, but I don't know. Just dropping in to say great contact. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you for stopping by. What the hell happened with Prince? I feel like they've come out with nothing but mediocre frames in the last decade. Well, that makes probably like millions of us. I can agree with that. I don't know what they're doing. Weird, to say the least. I don't know if they just gave up. I know they do a lot of stuff with Tennis Warehouse. Why do I feel like the Tennis Warehouse reviewers are like making those rackets? No shade to the Tennis Warehouse reviewers. Love them. They're awesome. They're all legends. But I just feel like, I don't know. I don't know who's making those rackets, but they ain't hitting. And they're probably not selling. I literally know one good player that plays with Prince right now. And he's a buddy of mine. And he likes his racket, I think. But out of all of the people that I know that play tennis, there's literally one good player that plays with Prince right now. Where did they go? I don't know. Great question. Have you tried the 2023 Prestige Tour 95 square inch? I tried it yesterday with links of 42 pounds, and that thing is a controlled boom stick with insane feel. Hey, I bet you, I haven't hit a Prestige in probably about a year, maybe a year and a half now. I played just with the 1820. It was the one I did a review on, and it was great. It was the it was like the old version, not the newest one. It was very solid. And it was fun to play with. And when you did hit it, it did go. And when it was great up at the net. One of the better rackets I've ever played with at the net. But my buddy that plays on our team, he played with the 95, the all red one, the bright red one. I'm not wearing red. Like the red one. I think you guys know what I'm saying. The 95. And he liked that one, but he doesn't play with that one anymore. He plays with the Extreme Tour. Could you compare the feel and playability of Boom Boom Pro to another racket? What do you mean Boom/Boom Pro? Are you talking about Boom MP? If so, it's hard to comment. I haven't played with this Boom Pro yet. I've only played with the old Boom Pro. And yeah, I don't, maybe get a little bit more detail and then I can help you out. I don't really think the Booms play like any other racket. They're kind of one of a kind, to be honest. For sure, you're one of the reasons I hit with the Extreme Tour and also the Racquet. Sweet. Glad I was able to help you out there. Does Tourline Absolute compare with Luxlon Alu Power? By compare, do you mean like hybriding them, or like are they similar? Would they hybrid together? I actually have no idea. You could try that out, but they're very different strings. Alu Power is like Mr. Control, and then Absolute is like very powerful for a poly. So they play quite different. But honestly, that would be an interesting hybrid. I don't know how that would play. I feel like that could play really good or really bad. Never tried that hybrid, but they are quite different. One is very control, feel oriented. The other one is very power, feel, spin. And Absolute, I see if I have it over here. I did when I checked her the other day. Absolute is, I don't have, yeah. Like Absolute, I don't have any Alu here. Where is it? Absolute is a 1.20 string. Like it's like quite thin. It's also glossy. So where Alu Power is a little bit more shaped. And a little bit more like wiry. Like Alu Power is the string that made polys become polys. So it's more like old tech in a way. What's your favorite string for the Extreme Tour and or Radical? Extreme Tour, I would probably go with Confidential. Radicals, I have to say my Super Toro, just because that's what I like in that racket. I think if I was to do it all over again, well, no, I would still probably do the same thing. I didn't experiment much with strings in my Extreme Tour. I played with a thick Confidential, and I still thought the launch was quite high. It's just the way that racket is. But Snapper is great in the Radical, Confidential is great in the Radical, Super Toro is great in the Radical. A lot of polys are good, but for me, my favorite is Super Toro. I mean, that's why I use it, so. I actually have one of our teammates, he's not coming back next year, but he played with the Boom with a Super Toro this year, and he liked it. So I'm interested to see, that's why I didn't want to string with a different string, because I know that he had success with it, and liked it a lot. So that's why I'm stringing with Super Toro. How do you feel Confidential compares to Toro, Super Toro as far as spin potential? Well, they're both shaped strings. Somebody corrected me the other day and said Confidential is not as six-sided. They're right. Super, if you compare on like the lively scale, which I was talking about earlier, you have like very lively, which is Toro. Then you have like in the middle, you have Super Toro, and then like more on the deader side, you have Confidential. Both Confidential and Super Toro play similar and have similar aspects, but the Confidential is just deader. It's just deader overall. Like you're not. I feel like you don't get as much feedback from the string as maybe you would from other strings. But I generally like that feeling. But by no means is Super Toro like a super lively poly either. Like you got strings like Vocal Cyclone, and then if you compare it's like Sister, the Toro Toro, and like Caviar, and like, I don't know, there's a lot of other strings that are very lively. You get all those like rough strings from Babylon, and Head has a lot of strings, and like it's, yeah, I hope I kind of answered that for you. But like, oh, spin potential, they're in the same realm. I think that also comes down to a lot what racket it's in. They're definitely very close to each other, and that's why it wasn't necessarily a hard switch for me, and why it didn't take much to get used to this Toro Line's Super Toro. But overall, the Toro line, the Toro Super Toro, there we go, I'm losing myself here. The Super Toro is more crispier, and I said that in the video about why I switched, and that's why I liked it. It was predictable, yet crispy, and I knew what I was getting out of it, and I liked that feeling. And those are very similar characteristics of Confidential, and that's why I stayed with it for so long. Damn, throat's getting dry here from talking. Bought a set of Absolute after seeing your review. Going to try it in a pro staff. Ooh! That could be pretty good. What pro staff? Is it just like the regular 97 or? That could play pretty solid, not gonna lie. I also think if you put that in the new 6-1, ooh, that could be pretty good too. Oh guys, I'm low-key like really tired right now. Like, I don't know why. Well, I do know why. I'm working a lot at the club right now, and my legs are just like, y'all know that feeling when like you're just coaching and like your legs are just like done. And that's like, I'm also like playing too and training and working out, so like I'm toast right now. But I will still do my other racket with you guys. And honestly, this boom looks pretty solid. When the MP came off the stringer, I was kind of like, I don't know. And I also didn't like, spoiler alert, didn't really like love the MP. And I'll say that in the video. Some things were like awesome with it, but then some things were just shit. So, I don't know. But I have to be open-minded. I have to try and say who I think it will work for, but it just wasn't really my favorite racket. No shade once again to my boomers, my boom MPers. So that's why I'm excited to compare it to its brother, the Pro. Oh. Running into that same stupid issue. Guys, I don't normally ask, but if you ain't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. We are on our way to 10,000 subs. It will help us get there, and it will help us make better content for you. You can find the subscribe button below this video if you're not on full screen. Or maybe you guys are absolute legends and you're watching it on your TV, YouTube TV. You can have me up on your big TV, that's kind of sick. But please like and subscribe. If you're not, helps us a lot. Help us make better content. Played with the MP, found it was crazy for depth and spin on ground strokes, but serves were not great and volleys felt weirdly inconsistent. I don't know if I want to just tell you guys what I thought about it right now or save it for a video. I will say that I agree with two of those things. I don't know what it was about it, but some things were just so bad. And like, I also tried to put weight on it, didn't really do anything. So I don't know what it did there, but like, I will tell you guys that I really, and it's funny, I shouldn't say I agree with you or disagree with you because it was just like, rackets are very personal. I actually liked it on serve, but on everything else, it was just mid. And yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. I will get into more details when I do the review. There we go, boom, done. Like right off the bat, I'm looking at this racket, it's gonna come off the stringer, and I'm telling you that I'm gonna like it more than the MP. I know. I can just see it. I know. Put on some lights here for you folks. How about that? It's getting a little dark. All right, there we are. Racket 1 done. Looks pretty solid. Like, you know what? This has potential. I feel it. It has some good potential. Like if I compare it to, we shall see. I love how the beam is not super thick. I don't know if y'all can see that. Not bad, huh? Not bad. Not too bad. I like that. That's coming from a 4.5, so do with it what you will. Listen, I'm sure 4.5 doesn't matter. Everybody has their opinion. Guys, I'm telling you, watch me like switch to this racket. What? It feels good in the hands actually. On backhand, this could be deadly. On forehand, maybe it's deadly as well. I am predicting that I will like it on the ground strokes. I am predicting I will like it on the volleys. I am predicting I will not like it on slice. And I am predicting it will be very mid-average by that on serves. But it's going to be a downfall on some touch shots with the slice. My projection. I wonder if that will come true. If it does, we will have to clip this live video segment, and then I will be a very, very smart individual. Radical time, guys. We have these things that are we used to at least, and they're just massive, like what do you call that? Gardening like cutters, and they just cut the whole string bed out in like 3 snippets, and it's the greatest thing. And like honestly, it saves time. I need to buy some of those for here. These things are so like, I don't know, they're all right, but it just takes a little bit more time consuming. All about cutting time when stringing. I'll be right back. I just need to, well, actually I can just put it right here. thank you, appreciate it. Thank you for the message. If you're leaving, thank you for stopping by. This is actually the last radical, or I think it might be the last one or the second last of my, ooh, that needs to be changed, that grommet. That is of my old spec, so I have to change that tonight or tomorrow. Probably will change it tomorrow because I'm going to be too lazy to do it after this. This one's still at 350, so I got to bring it down to 340. You guys didn't know, I did change the customization of my rackets, and I explained why in our recent video about my forehand and what I'm doing with it, any technical changes that I will be making, along with some racket things I will be changing, all to better the forehand. So this is all in hopes that it will help, and so far it is. Gonna have to open a new reel of string actually for this. What do you think of this though? If you dedicate plenty of time to develop a certain game style, eventually the string you settle with will do what you want. It's due depending on the shot selection. Yes and no. Let me think, like, if you put Rafa Nadal or Carlos Alcaraz with a full bed of natural gut, I don't think that will work well. I understand what you're saying, and I agree with it to a degree. And string in general is very marketing oriented. However, every string is different. It's a different color, it's a different shape, different weight. So if you're talking like six-sided polys, yes. If you're talking about 17 gauge multis, yes. But I think that, like, over time, over like maybe years, yes, the adaptation will occur, but I feel like you will limit yourself as far as the ability or level you can play to, because if Rafa or Carlos play with a full bed of natural gut, I don't think their level would be the same if they changed today. That's my opinion. But I do understand what you're saying. I think for a lot of lower level beginner players, it doesn't matter at all. Like they're just not good enough, and I don't know how to say that any nicer. But I understand where you are coming from. But there is some how do I say it? There is some like holes, or there's some holes in that take in a way from the kind of example I meant. Or like if you put, here's another good one. When Roger played with his Pro Staff 90, like 10 years ago, I think that would be about now. Yeah, probably. I think he changed it in 2012 or 2014. Anyway, when he played with that, if he played and put in a 15L gauge, this is what Rafa uses, of RPM blast in a 90 square inch racket, it just wouldn't work. It wouldn't work for the game. And it probably would destroy his arm. But for most people, I would kind of agree with you to a degree there for sure, but definitely a good observation. String and tension and gauge can be very confusing for a lot of people. And honestly, it wasn't until COVID that I really dialed into it and learned about it, and that's why I started doing racket reviews and how we have the channel, and I started to not get good at it because I still don't think I'm a master at it by any means. I just think I'm more educated. But there's a lot to learn there, especially I was a junior, I didn't really know much, I was just following advice from coaches, and I don't know. Yeah, different rackets. I made a lot of bad racket decisions when I was younger, and I still kick myself today because I feel like if I had played with a different setup, it could have done something for me. Think about this. They don't even make this racket anymore, but if they make it in a pro stock, the Wilson Ultra Tour, when that racket came out stock, I was 15 and I decided to buy that racket. I tested it, I thought it looked cool, it felt great at the net, but I forgot that I was 15 and was not that strong, and that racket was a 97 square inch, 18 by 20, played with a full bed of poly, 17 gauge. I was an idiot. That is the worst setup you could have, Cade. And for some reason, I still played pretty good. But man, I had to swing so hard with that racket. And then I added lead to it because I was also an idiot. Stupid. So then, myself and a couple other people that were close to me at the time noticed that Cade was struggling with the rackets there. And we bought Pure Arrows, and that was one of the best decisions I've ever made in my junior career when it came to equipment. So yeah, just kind of interesting. I just went on a huge tangent and rant there, but it kind of tied into what we were talking about earlier a little bit. So really interesting, to be honest. But yeah, I played with just some weird choices, and like I said, I just wasn't educated. And a lot of kids don't know any better, and the families don't know any better. And if you don't play tennis a lot, it's kind of hey, I like the color of that racket, and coach said that so-and-so uses that racket. It's just kind of you're just kind of out there, and you learn so much as you go, and you kind of need to make those mistakes to learn in a way. Man, yeah, I made some, and I even and I would never name names, not that you guys would know these people anyway, but under 12, I remember trying to pick between a Pro Staff Ultra Light and a Radical Pro. Funny enough, I picked the Radical Pro when I was 12. That's in my room upstairs. But in hindsight, that was also such a shit decision. Playing with a Radical Pro, that's the heaviest racket from the Radical lineup, that's meant to be used by intermediate, advanced players, or somebody that just wants to use it for the sake of it. I was literally yay high You know what I mean? Like I was little, I was tiny, I was not strong. And like I should have had a lighter racket. And the coach who I was working with at the time told me it was a good idea to do that. And I don't know why he did. What a terrible idea. Like, and I will never forget that as well, because there's so many coaches that are so not well versed and don't have a good understanding of equipment. And they tell players that are very good from all the way to U10 to U18 to buy certain things or use a certain string, and it just doesn't work for them. And I'm not saying like my racket decisions would work for other people. I'm not saying that at all. All I'm saying is like you just gotta know the player, you know what I mean? Yes, you have to live and learn to be open to experiencing with strings and rackets. Most definitely. Most definitely. Like in my racket switches, like I have all my rackets. We actually did a video about that like years now ago about my racket. So it's just like, I don't know, like it's just stupid, some of the decisions I made, and it's too bad that it was also encouraged. The wrong decisions were encouraged by like professional staff of like tennis academies and like in my opinion, I think every kid that is from U12 to U16 should use a 100 square inch racket, whether that's an E-zone, a V-core, a pure arrow, a pure drive. When they used to make the burns, they were good. A Blade 100, Pure Strike 100. Just because these kids can still learn, like this is where it goes south. A lot of older coaches would be like, yeah, you need to learn how to hit with proper technique, so let me give you my 85 square inch pro staff and you'll have great technique. I'm sorry to tell you that that kid will play tennis for not much longer, because they're going to hate it, because they're not going to be able to get the ball over the net when they're 12 years old with an 85 square inch pro staff. So back to my point, they should be using those types of rackets because it's going to help them get depth and spin. And that's what you need at that age. And you can still learn to have proper technique with those rackets. I do understand the point that those people raise, but it doesn't need to be that extreme. And then when they get older, they can switch into rackets. Maybe they don't even do it that big of a difference. Maybe it's like you use an E-zone 100, then you go to an E-zone 98. Or maybe they do when they get to college or something and they use a Prestige. You know what? Go for it. Yeah, I played with a Prestige Mid 90, 1820, which I felt limited some of my play until I was in late high school and was stronger. Makes perfect sense. Even when you're in high school, like even now you would feel like you play better with it. Just, I don't know if you still play a lot, but like if you still played much in your high school days were not that much far behind you, like you would probably feel even better with a Prestige Mid right now. Like playing with rackets that are honestly 97, like kids that are in U12 playing with a 98 square inch racket, even that's still like, that's still borderline. Like I was just at a junior tournament. I ran a junior tournament for kids here that are pretty good level here in Atlantic, Canada. All those kids, most of them are making good racket decisions. The odd one, I'm kind of like, what are you using that for? And they wouldn't even know. Like I know a kid that uses like a pro staff, and I know a kid that uses V-cores, V-core Pro. And I'm like, you know, I don't know about that one. I think that could be limiting you. And some of these kids that are making the right decisions are even going very power oriented when they're 12. Like I had like think I had an 11 and 12-year-old that were at this tournament, and they were using a pure arrow, I think regular, so 300 gram, and they had a hybrid in there. So that kid got some great advice. That coach, whoever coaches that kid, said buy a 100 square inch racket. You're gonna get good depth, a good spin, it's gonna feel good. Play like Rafa. And you put a hybrid in there to save their arm. You're not gonna put a polyester string in there because you're just not gonna do that yet. You're gonna wait till they're a little bit stronger. It's crazy how that stuff works though. And I was guilty of a lot of bad decisions with rackets and equipment. Sorry, that was my big rant for today. It's like 8:45 our time here. Making some pretty good time, I think. Gonna go on the crosses here now. But in other news, Iga Swiatek is a tank. I don't know if you guys have been seeing some of her results, but she is like, yeah, she had a tough one there against Naomi, and I think Naomi even had some match points there. But, like, frick, she is unreal right now. Like, what was it today against, like, Vondrousova 0-2? 0-2. Vondrousova was slam final at French Open and has won Wimbledon. Like, that's a solid player. And she also did 0-0 against, who was it? Prodorska? Like, that girl's top 50. Like, we're talking 50th best players inside the top 50 in the world. And it's 0-0. Like, that's like me going out and playing a 6 UTR. Like, that's crazy. Like, insane level. Speaking of UTRs, what is your UTR? You know what? I don't look at my UTR often. It kind of F's with my head a little bit. I think it's like an 11 or it's a very high 10. My highest ever UTR I think was like 11.27. I do know that. And I lost some bad matches and it went down a lot. But yeah, it's high 10, so it would round up to 11. I think that's how they do it. They for UTRs, if you're the half point above, then you like go up the point. So if you're like a 6.5, then you're like technically a 7. If you're like a 3.6, then you're a 4. So I'm above the half point. I think I'm close to 8 or 9. So I would be rounding up to an 11, so like 10, 8, 9. And I would have that for both singles and doubles. The UTR for me has slowly increased over, damn, I didn't cut that yet. Has slowly increased for me ever since I went to college. Like I showed up and was like a low 9, a very low 9, like 9.19, and showed up beat guys on our team that had higher UTRs, finagled my way to the 6th spot of our lineup, and then UTR went up quite a bit. I think I finished the year there at like barely 10, so I was like 10.0 something. And that year we had a great year, actually. We went to nationals. And then the following year, I came back to school and I had like an 11.27, what I was saying, and then I lost some bad matches and it went down a lot. But I don't think my game was an 11.27 either. Like, I could play myself right now. And like I said, I have like a higher one right now. Or sorry, not higher, like I have an 11, and my rounding up 11 UTR would probably destroy, like probably would 2 and 3, that 11.27. So UTR is it's accurate, but it can fluctuate. I can say that. Like there's some very inflated, and there's also a lot of players that have very deflated UTRs. Like we have a guy on our team, it shows his UTR is like a low 8. That guy ain't a low 8, I can tell you right now. Like he plays us in practice with very good, and he played 6th for us at the end of the year this year, and he is not an 8 UTR. He just didn't get many matches in, and when your matches, when you have like normal results or maybe lost one match and then you don't play, the rating goes down. I don't know why, but it does. It just does. But UTR is by far the best rating system. By far. Making like honestly like not bad time right now. 76 minutes. Stopping and talking. Racket and a half. Not bad. Oh, but honestly, I wasn't even alive tonight, but I was like, you know what? Got some time to kill. Got some people to talk to. So here we are, talking to y'all. I cut too much string, I can tell. Hate when that happens, I wasted some string. But yeah, we got RG on. I know we were talking about that a little bit earlier. Who do you guys think is going to win? Girls and guys? I personally think Iga is just going to keep rolling here. She was tested a bit earlier in the tournament with some tighter 2-setters and a close 3-setter with Naomi, but other than that, I don't know. I don't think she's going to be, I do not think she's going to lose. I don't see her losing again, so I think this will be, what, her 4th Roland Garros? That's pretty solid. Like, she's, what, 22 or 23? That's honestly nuts. And for the guys, if I have to pick one right now, I think Carlos might, it's between Carlos and Sash. I think Sasha's very hungry. I think he wants to win. Carlos, I think is going to get by Sinner. I think Sinner getting the #1 ranking is going to kind of maybe bring him some relief and excitement, and like maybe he'll ease up a bit. Maybe not. Maybe it will also like fuel him and like, oh my God, like lift off pressure in another way and he'll play lights out. Could happen either way. So I don't know. It could go a couple of ways, but I think Sasha will get through the next one But I think in the final, he might be too tired. Like, the guys played some long, tough matches. Like, even think about it, like, he played Rafa in the first round. Yeah, it was 3 sets, but, like, that's tough, man. That's a lot of, like, it's an anxiety and pressure match. And, like, a lot of people don't remember that, like, even though people get through in 3 sets, that's, like, it's still 3 sets. Still 3 sets of tennis there. And that's tough. That's tough. So that's when they go the distance and it's like a 4-hour, 5-hour, 5-set match. Like, the recovery for that is tough. And when you do it back-to-back times, like, I don't know. It becomes tough on the body. Casper Ruud, though, could do some damage there. He had an extra day off to recover. Sometimes that works really well for players, and then sometimes they get out of rhythm and they lose it a bit, and then they go back, because it's almost like you're in a rhythm, right? You play a match, you win. Day off, play a match, win. Day off, play a match, win. And all of a sudden you have day off, day off, day off, match. And that can mess with the rhythm, since they've been doing that for like a couple weeks, and even if they played, you know, a tournament the week before. Because I think he did that as well. So could help him, could hurt him. I think it will help him personally. I cut so much extra string. Why did I do that? I wasn't paying attention. Should have brought a snack down here for myself as well. I'm starting to get a little hungry. Sometimes my computer is freezing here, and then I don't know if people are saying anything, and I can't see how many people are here, and the rest of it. Oh, so somebody did say something. Sinner or Zverev? Yeah, I mean, right there with you. Sinner could also do it as well. I mean, honestly, like, it's tough to say, like, any of them could. No problem, buddy. I was telling them earlier about that I was gonna try it, because I think like probably like 100 people have wanted me to try that racket in the last year, and I just was pretty much saying no. But yeah, literally no worries. I got lots of stuff to do. Got to work on my game as well. Can't think about too much about rackets, even though it's fun. No worries. Everybody say hi to Beckett. He's a legend. Nadal, Alcaraz, Olympic doubles. Bruh. Insane. Honestly, that's gonna be awesome. Like, they have to play together, and they will play well, and they will try their asses off, both of them. So like, you already know that they're gonna be good. Here's my take on that kind of stuff. Obviously, if you put like a good singles player, like an ATP top 20, ATP top 10, let's just say doubles, and they go out there and they play a top 10 doubles team that just plays doubles, the doubles team will win. However, if the singles team does a little bit of training and they're playing with somebody they want to play with and they try their ass off, they will beat the team. I am convinced. Because they just will. They just will. I'm not even going to provide reasoning. They just will. Like, Rafa has won a doubles gold medal before. So like, and Rafa has sick volleys and sick hands. And like, Alcaraz low-key does as well. Like, and like, that's another thing. You play for your country. Like, Yeah, I would not want to play them. Like if I was like some random country playing against Rafa and friggin' Carlitos Alcaraz, I would be scared. I would be scared for my country, and I would say, yeah, better playing with my other hand. What's up, bud? Benoit Paire. What about Benoit Paire? Sinner or Alcaraz? We were just kind of talking about that. I think it can go either way, but I think I put my money on Carlos. I think that his forehand is better on clay than Sinner's. I think Sinner might. But Sinner can win too, man. I think Carlos has a better clay game. And I think that maybe Sinner thought about the world #1 ranking. You know, he feels good now. It could be a good thing or a bad thing. I was just saying this right before he came on. And you know what? Maybe he gets a little bit comfortable and Carlos wins in 4 sets. I don't know. Could see that happening. But you know what? I could also totally see Sinner winning as well. Pretty much manhandled Dimitrov there the other day as well. Like, I don't care what you say. 7-6 in the third. Whatever. 3 sets. Easy dubs for Sinner there. Crew socks or no-show socks? Are you talking about like when I'm playing tennis? When I'm playing tennis, I wear longer socks. I don't know what they're called. I just long socks or like basketball socks. Your opinion on Benoit Paire? What an interesting guy. He's an interesting guy. He has the worst forehand I've ever seen, and I don't know how he plays professional tennis with that forehand. Probably because he has a world-class backhand. And you know what else is bad? His serve. It sucks. For ATP level, his serve and his forehand are terrible. Like, somebody should make a YouTube video about how bad Benoit Paire is. like for the level. Like, of course, he would annihilate me and pretty much everyone else on this earth. But like, for like ATP 100 standards, top 100, like his forehand is terrible. Like, if you're watching this live, after we're done this racket, go watch Benoit Paire forehands. And like, I actually love Benoit Paire. Like, I think he's funny. I think he does some funny things on court. But his forehand is brutal. Hey, I'm a fan of Benoit Paire. Listen, I like him too. I would say I would, because like I said earlier, there's no. I'm not dissing Benoit Paire. I'm just saying that his forehand sucked. Your opinion on Fabio? Listen, we're not done with Benoit. We are not done. We're still on the Benoit. I said that he has a world-class backhand because he does. I don't know about what kind of, like, I don't know what kind of slice or volley game. I haven't really watched him enough. Probably has not bad hands. He's from France, so. But the forehand, yeah, it's rough. He brings out the slice forehand. Listen, there's this running joke that I have with some friends at school that when somebody brings out the forehand slice in junior tennis or college tennis, you need to call their parents because they need to learn how to hit their forehand. But, you know, I'm fixing my forehand right now, so I can't talk too much. I don't hit a forehand slice, though, I will say that. Yeah, check yourself, Ben wants to go. He is a GOAT, but not a forehand GOAT. Your opinion on Fabio? You know what? I'm actually I don't know who asked earlier, of players you don't like. I'm not I don't dislike Fabio, but I ain't a fan. Like, I would like Benoit Paire more just because he's more entertaining than Fabio. I think Fabio is lazy. He's very talented, extremely talented, And I think that he's done some things in the past with money and like tanking and like guys that tank, that's one thing I don't like. Like it's a privilege to play on the tour. When you tank, I think like just give like some effort. Like you know what I mean? Like there's thousands of people, well millions of people that would die to have and be in that same situation. And like some things I don't know. That's why, well, Benoit's definitely tanked too. So I don't know if he is the GOAT, but he is a GOAT. Look, Fabio and Benoit pair are the bad boys of tennis. Yes, they are. But like, some of the stuff that they do, I'm also here for. Like, I love how they do that because they bring attention to tennis. They bring so much attention. Like Nick Kyrgios, Bublik, Medvedev, Fabio, Benoit pair, like those guys are really good for tennis. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you, oh my goodness, they're so bad for tennis. You know, I don't want my kids watching them. I don't want my kids watching Benoit pair's forehand, but they can watch him have a temper tantrum or whatever. The only thing I don't like is the tanking. That's the only thing I don't like. Just don't tank. Everything else, the trick shots, the shitty forehands, anything else that comes with it, getting the crowd fired up, underhand serves, I don't care. I'm totally here for it. It's just the tanking. What do you think about Novak Djokovic? Is he going to retire? I don't know, man. Maybe. Maybe not. He just effed up his knee. So, you know, this year has probably been a little bit of a downer for him. He's had some good. The last 4 years for him have been very excellent. That makes very excellent. Have been excellent. So I think, you know, maybe father time is creeping in a bit. This is the first injury that he's had, I think, maybe in a while that he's had to pull out of a slam that he was still contending. He's finished slams and been hurt in the last years, but I don't know. Like he also said, I don't think he's going to play Wimbledon as well. Like, it's too bad because who knows what happens, right? Like, we've been lucky with Roger and Rafa that they've, in a way, gone out in their own terms. Like, Rafa's still going to compete here for maybe, like, 1 year. But, like, they kind of are getting a proper, like, last year and a half send-off. Like, everybody knows it's coming. And it's sad because I think he's going to miss Wimbledon. You know, I'm not like a diehard Novak fan. I'm just saying, like, it's kind of like, what if all of a sudden Novak just disappears and he can't compete? Like, people take that level of tennis and that level of achievements, trying to make that sound right, for granted. And like, who knows? That could just be gone like that. By the way, you said you wear crew cut socks when you play tennis. Dude, I'm so sorry. I don't even know what does that mean? I wear like the long socks. What are long socks called? Is that crew? I don't know. I'm not educated on socks. What is your opinion? In your opinion, what is the best? Oh, that's so hard to say. The best 98, user friendly. I mean, every brand. I mean, actually, the Boom. I think this is 98. This would probably be pretty user friendly. Yeah. That was a huge voice crack. Boom 98, or sorry, Boom Pro would be pretty user-friendly. The E-Zone 98, V-Core 98. I mean, you got like the Pure Strikes as well. It's so hard to say, like, the Radical probably wouldn't be as user-friendly, but it's because it's more control-oriented. But like Pure Drive 98, Pure Aero 98. There is so many you could go with there. I don't even know where to begin. So I just said a few, but the rackets that have thicker beams that are 98 would probably be a little bit more user-friendly if that's what you're kind of looking for. Are you a tennis villain or a tennis hero? when I say hero, you mean like gentleman's player, and when villain, a bad boy. I lie in the middle. I lie in between. I have great respect for Roger and Rafa for their professionalism and their work ethics, and also I don't really even say Novak is a villain. Like, I mean, there's only like the guys that are villains are like Fabio, Benoit, Kyrgios, like Johnny Mac when he used to play, Bublik, Medvedev. Like they do some more stuff than Novak would, in my opinion. I guess Novak destroyed that ball at that lady's throat or whatever that one US Open, but yeah, like I don't know, like the underhand serves, like I don't know, like I think before college tennis I would be more hero. Third year into college tennis, well, three completed years of college tennis, going to my last year, I'm way more, like I'm not as uptight, and like I don't care, and like guys do underhand serves against me, and like guys cheat, and like it's like whatever, like it's, sorry, guys cheat against me, I'm not cheating against other people, we need to clarify that. Like people do shit, and like it just happens. And a lot of people, like the traditional and the professional and the hero type people are older, I think. And they're also boomers, and they also don't know what TikTok is. So like they're just behind in general. So like, I think you know what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. I just feel like, that's why I'm like in the middle. I think some things are outrageous. Like I think tanking is outrageous. You should never tank a match. That's my huge and most biggest pet peeve. If you tank, I lose respect for you. Anything else, if you hit underhand serves, you hit a one-handed backhand down the line, when you have a two-hander and you're a pro, I don't care. Like, those aren't, tanking is like brutal. What is my opinion on Stan Wawrinka? What is my opinion on Stefano Tsitsipas? Stan Wawrinka is beast. The guy's still playing, even though his levels dropped a lot. I appreciate it. He loves the game. Great one-hander. Probably one of the best one-handers of all time. Maybe even the best. Yeah, love the hard work, love the determination, the willingness to get better, even when he's an old dude. Stefano Tsitsipas, what do I think about him? I still think he has some stuff to learn. That sounds so stupid though, coming for me, like I literally play college tennis, like it's not like I'm that level or anything, so I think that he's just a little like, okay, we're going down a rabbit hole here. Hey, if you guys, I don't know if he still does it because I stopped looking at it because I thought it was so funny. But like, Stefanos, like, on Twitter, or X now, or whatever you call it, like, he says some weird stuff, like very like artsy, and like it makes no sense, and like he writes poems, and I'm just like, whoa, like I don't know what's going on there. So Stefanos is just an odd duck, great tennis player, but just like does some weird stuff, like in some, like he's very methodical. And I just laugh about it because there's not many tennis players that are like that. Anyway, great player. Crew cut socks with the long socks. Yes, I wear the long socks. Will Zverev win the Roland Garros at last? Maybe. I don't know. We were talking about that earlier. It's going to be tough. I think he might be a little tired. Daniel Medvedev is anti-hero as well. Listen, I love Medvedev. Medvedev is my favorite if you call a villain. He's my favorite. I love Medvedev. I love when he shushes the crowd. I love it when he says really stupid stuff. I love that he hates clay, or maybe he likes it a little bit better now, but like, I love Medvedev. He's a goat. He's a goat. What is your opinion on Rowan Bopana? You got a lot of opinion-based questions, my friend. like a lot. I really don't even know how that guy swings a racket. I just know that he's like 40 or 41 and like he destroys in doubles. So I guess that's pretty cool. I have tennis elbow since 12 months. Do you have any good arm training stretching you do to prevent your recovery? Seems like many players still get time to time. Tennis elbow, couple things you can do. I'm going to pull out all the stops for you right now. First thing you need to do is you need to probably do some physio work, some PT work. A lot of people think it's a racket, it's a string, it's a vibration dampener, it's a sleeve. We'll talk about that here in a sec. But first thing you need to do is check yourself. Check your elbow. Are you tight? Massage in here, poke and prod. Like right here on the top of your forearm, there's like a, not a doctor, it's like a ligament or like a tendon. You can massage this tendon in here. That relieves a lot of pain, like a lot of cross fiber massage has worked well for me. A lot of tennis elbow tends to be connected into your shoulder as well. So once again, massaging out this area, doing some stretches like this commonly work, but hold them for longer periods of time. Get a lacrosse ball, roll it right here on your pec, but then also right in here, there's a few tendons that run through here. You can do this stretch as well. That's the same one that you would massage right here. If none of that helps, you can look up some more stretches and some exercises, some rolling techniques, use a massage gun. Make sure you warm up properly before you play. Those are all like physical things you can do. If you use a poly setup and it's stiff, get rid of it. Make sure you replace your strings often. If you need to change to a different setup, I suggest doing a hybrid with multi or synthetic gut. String at a lower tension you can do. Use a vibration dampener. And if you really want to be cool, you can buy a sleeve. Somebody clipped that. That was pretty cool. I just rattled all of it off. So yeah, definitely try some of those things. Do all of them. Make sure you're stretching before and after. Like I said, you do good warm-ups. If you work out, I don't know how old you are, you can do like some elbow matrices. Work on your wrist and your forearm mobility. Lots of things you can do. What is your opinion on Rayo Pelka? He's got a big ass serve, and he's lanky and tall, and he seems like a chill dude. I've never met him, but he's a good tennis player. Seems like a pretty neutral guy. What's up, Nate Dogg? Nate Dogg is our assistant coach from SNU, guys. Here comes the boom. Playing ATP wildcard next week. Sir. Love you, buddy. Thanks, Nate. Good luck. Everybody spam Nate Dogg. That's what we call him. Nate is a legend. Nate is a legend. Nate is grinding, guys. Nate is grinding. Nate is grinding. Our buddy Nate uses, I think he's using them now. He uses the Blade Pro. Rayo Pelka is too artsy, and his fashion scene is terrible. Yeah, I don't know if the Fila is working well on him. I think he would go well with like a Nike or like a boutique, like more smaller brand, like a Hugo Boss or something. I don't know. Just my opinion, or some like new brand. Oh my God, almost there, guys. Can't wait to lay on my couch in like 10 minutes. Get those questions in, guys. We're almost done. I'm a fan of Taylor Fritz. Taylor Fritz is also cool. His girlfriend's whiny, but he is a cool dude. And he has a great backhand. But I think he's a little lazy, not gonna lie. I don't know, Taylor Fritz is like, he's not my favorite, but how long have I played tennis? I have played tennis for a whopping 13 years. So most of my life, I've been around a tennis court. Started playing when I was 7 years old. Played in the summers until I was 10. And then 10, I started playing in tournaments. 11, I played competitively for like 2 to 3 seasons of the year. And then when I was like 13, 14, I gave up my other sports and I pursued tennis. Karen Hatchinoff. What is my name? Ooh, if you don't know my name, you're not subscribed. Mr. Thomas Price, you need to subscribe to the channel. My name is Cade. Karen Hatchinoff is kind of a beast. I wouldn't want to play him. He has a monster forehand and a big game. And a pretty big serve, actually, too. But yeah, Mr. Thomas, you need to like and subscribe. What are your personal goals within tennis? Whew, loaded question. Okay. Personal goals. Let me think on the fly. I got a small short-term goal of finishing this racket right now without making any mistakes. Very high chance of that, so short-term goals. Look, on the last cross, we did it. Short-term goals, for short, as in like years, I would say I would like to go back to nationals with my team next year, and I would like to win our conference. That is like a shorter term goal. Because we won our conference last year, and the year before that we went to the Sweet 16, which is like the last 16 in the country, and like that's like one of the best tennis achievements I've ever done, and it was so much fun, and like I loved every minute of it. I should bring my ring and show you guys one of these days. That was also sick. I was lucky enough to be the guy that brought it home for our team. And I would love to be able to do that again or be on another championship team. It was so much fun. So that's kind of my short-term goals. Long-term goal, like I've said on here before, like I want to play pro. It's really tough. I won't deny that. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. I still feel like I have a lot of room to grow as a tennis player. I'm only 20 years old. Like I haven't even reached like my physical potential yet. That doesn't happen probably for another 5 to 6 years. Whether I will still play tennis then competitively, who knows? I know tennis for me, it's going to be very hard to let go when it's time to let go. I really love it. So I'm going to give myself a chance. I've already played in a future. Some people have played in more than me by this time in their lives, but some haven't. I'm going to give myself a fighting chance to see how I react to the grind sort of tour life. Maybe I won't like it. Maybe I'm gonna love it. All of that is TBD. And you know what? Like, that's kind of it. Like, it's hard to say long-term goals. I think a really like long-term goal for me that would be like a nice goal to end like career with, like, you know, when you're a kid, you want to win the slams and you want to win Monte Carlo. Like for me, like that's just, I don't know, that's just not gonna happen. I think that's just too, like I gotta be realistic as well. I think that I would love to play in a couple slams one day. If that was like qualifying for singles or doubles, like that would be great. I've been lucky enough to play on the US Open courts many of times. but not for the US Open, for college matches. So I would love to play on the US Open courts for like a qualifying round or something. I think winning a challenger or winning some pro like ITFs would be awesome as well. But I think just being at a Grand Slam when the tournament is happening and playing in it, not watching it, would be a great experience. So that's just pouring out my life goals to you guys at 9 o'clock at night. How about that? I like and I am subscribed. Good stuff. By the way, would you agree that Novak Djokovic is more of a tennis anti-hero? I think Novak Djokovic is hated by a lot of people and shouldn't be hated for the reasons that he is hated for. But I also don't think he is a hero. He lies in that unknown gray territory. But I am not a Novak hater. I am a Novak appreciator. And I am not really, like I said way earlier, I'm not really a hater for anyone. It is 2:20 in the morning. Damn. My friend, you need to go to bed. I do have some friends in Germany that would probably be sleeping. So I hope you have a great sleep, my friend. Thanks for coming by. We are wrapping up. We'll get in your last questions here. I'm just going to move the stringer and kind of clean up here. And then we'll be off. I'm coming back, and then it's time to go. I'll answer a few questions here, but by the way, what is your opinion on Del Potro? Legend. Too bad he had to retire and had a lot of injuries. Good luck with your goals. To reach that, you need sponsors. No, how do you see difference from European professionals to overseas? You do need some sponsors. That is true. That will come. I'm not like launching a pro journey right now, so like I don't really need to think about that. I'm lucky that I have you guys in this channel that is hopefully going to be at 10K soon. So yeah, this channel helps me as well pay for tennis in a roundabout way. YouTubers do make money. I don't make millions of dollars, but there is a little bit of revenue that comes through here. So yeah, Europeans, the difference between pro Europeans and you guys do it a little bit differently. You have the club system that is really nice. Like I know a lot of guys that play club tennis, they get good reps before they go play pro. We don't have that. It's tough to get paid in North America and South America with like amateur level tennis, where like, for example, I know tons of guys that are my level, they play every year in club tennis in Germany and in Europe, and they make really good money from that. And they don't really have to work. Like I have to work at a club and teach and coach and give private lessons to kind of earn some money at my stage. And some people don't have to do that in Europe because they just can play and make money from it. So that's kind of a stepping stone that they're lucky to have, where we have to kind of work for it in a different way here. So anyway, that is going to be it. See you later. We have some videos that are coming out soon. We just did the boom. We strung my radical. Thank you for watching. If you're not subscribed, do me a solid and like and subscribe. We're on our way to 10,000 subs. So thank you for watching. We're going to end it with that. We'll catch you guys on whatever video you watch next. Later.